Welcome to a website throwdown with me, Joshua, and this is Denise that you're seeing. Say hi, Denise, so they can
Hi,
see.
everybody.
Awesome. Well, we were just talking about that. We're filming this on a Friday, and super excited about it being Friday. So I think this is going to be a fun one. Denise and I have had a little bit of time to do a little warm up, so we're in a good spot. I cleaned up my desk, so it looked like this is my state of mind, that I'm nice and clean.
I don't know that anyone believes that.
Everything is just kind of shoved up under the table here, so.
Yeah.
But welcome to the website Throwdown. If you've been tuning into these, you know how they go. Denise has volunteered for me to critique her website, and I've never been to her website before. So when I click on it, whatever you see on my face is exactly how I'm reacting to it for the first time. So she is going to be extremely vulnerable and let us look at her website. We're going to ask her lots of questions. And that's why it is important. Not important, that made it sound like a business directive. It's important that you follow these rules and you wear closed-toed shoes at all times. But no, I am monitoring the comments that are going on in Facebook. So if we're talking about something and you want to chime in, or if you have some questions, and just based on some initial conversations I've had with Denise, I think you might have some questions. She's got some good stuff that we're going to get into. Oh, excuse me, as I choke. Stand by. Denise, you have to take over.
We have lots of good stuff. I'm not very good at the live thing. Let's just, I can smile and make really terrible jokes. Dad jokes are my favorite. We can go there.
Oh, I love that. I work with a team member who has the dad jokes on lockdown. And
oh, fantastic.
It's awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to choke up there. But yeah, so interact with us on Facebook, and let us know what your questions are. Give us hearts and thumbs up and all that stuff to make us feel wanted and loved. It's important. And hey, follow me on social media at Joshua Harrell. Sometimes I am just talking about myself. Sometimes I'm taking pictures of my dog. And sometimes I'm actually talking about work-related stuff. So it's a good one to, that's a plug for myself there. And Denise, what are you on social media?
You can follow along at Mindset Travel or Mindset Travel Agency.
Boom. Because she said, my web domain is going to be my social handle. We are one and the same. Very, very smart, Denise. Okay. So let's begin. And the hardest part for me is always sharing the screen. So we are going to do that right now. Stand by, stand by. All right, you're going to see yourself in a minute. Share. Okay, so there, can you see that? All right, hold on. Stand by, guys. Gosh, what are we looking at right now? I have no idea.
I see your Facebook page right now.
You can see my Facebook page. Okay, well, yep. That's not what we're wanting to show. All right, all right, so let's see, resume share.
There we go.
And so, Good afternoon, Joshua. I get greeted by my computer.
That's wonderful.
Yes, okay. So, and let me see if I can move that out. Okay. All right, gosh, there's so much to producing your own live show here. And then let's bring up the video so I can see you and me. Okay, good deal. All right, so I've typed in your web address. We can see that in the screen. Can you confirm that, Denise?
Yes, we can see mindsettravelagency.com.
Gotcha. Okay, so I am pressing the button. Push the button.
Go means go. Get a little flutter.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you did there with your logo. It's a little map marker, a little mountain, little sun. It could be, I don't know, there's a lot going on there. Tell me about Mindset Travel.
Mindset Travel is a full-service casual luxury travel agency, all encompassing from air to accommodations to tours to transportation and suggested daily itineraries. It is complete service for anybody's travel plans.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
3 years, just about, almost. I don't want to age myself here. Almost 3 years.
And how long have you been with Travel Quest Network?
From day one.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell us how old this website is.
This website went live about 8 months ago, give or take. I think about March or April last year it went live.
Okay. Okay. Which, sorry, back up. My brain just blacked out. How long was that?
About 8 months.
Okay. So
maybe 9 months, because March or April, somewhere in there, if I recall.
So the interesting thing about this is there is a rule, and I don't care how technology changes and evolves, but I have seen it happen over and over again. No matter whenever you change content on a site, unless you are advertising the heck out of it or you've got this huge network, it's at 6 months is where you see a change in how the search engines have cached your website. They've crawled through it. You start to see some of that work pay off. So if I do a blog post and I have maybe 5 followers on Facebook and I don't advertise, well, chances are I'm going to get maybe one person look at it. It's probably going to be my mom. But after 6 months, that's when you start to see some organic traffic. So I'm really excited at the fact that we're doing this now. And so I'd like to go over some numbers.
Absolutely.
So we talked about this a little bit. So I'm ahead of the audience at this moment. But can you tell us how many new visitors, not total visitors, but new visitors to your website you got in January so far?
167. That's through yesterday.
Okay, that's awesome.
167, yeah, visitors.
All right, and then I asked you a question that I don't ask everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you what your bounce rate was. And what's your
30%.
bounce rate? Now, do you know
30.32%.
Well, steady now. We don't need to go into all that.
Hey, getting technical.
So let me ask you this. Do you know what bounce rate is looking at, what it's evaluating?
I know it's the rate at which they leave the site without doing something, but I don't know what that something is. I'm not totally familiar. And it may not be because of the design of the site or the function of the site, but I'm curious to know what it is so I understand.
So it really indicates that the user did not find what they were expecting, or the experience was not good in general. So it's saying that someone came to your website and left like within seconds. It's kind of like back in the late 90s, you'd go to a website you thought was one thing and all of a sudden it was sexy lingerie and you're like, oh, that's not where I wanted to be. So I bounced, right?
Right.
But, it's someone who is not going to like scroll through or click on another page. So it really, when you break it down to your whole website level, 30% is super, super good. So I want to commend you on that because.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's super high.
No. It's super good, and that's the thing. I have internal discussions with people where they're like, well, all these people come to my website, but they're all just leaving, so something's wrong. Well, there can be a lot of factors that can contribute to that. So, when you're searching on the web, when you're doing any kind of search, what you see in Google or Bing is a snapshot that was taken at some point in time. It could have been yesterday, it could have been a month ago, whatever. And sometimes you change a website. So the link that I'm clicking on that's supposed to take me to services might end up it could be a broken link, or it could send me to another page or a page that had been redesigned to be something else. So that can contribute to it. Also, advertising does in a big way. So the moment you start driving, doing digital ads, you're going to get a lot of junk visits to the website. And the older the website your website is, you'll also see that happening. So the fact that you're at 30%, if I could get all of the web properties in the world that I manage to be at 30%, I would be doing dances naked in the frozen food section of the Kroger. So you were doing very, very well with that. So,
Awesome.
all right. So that one question I didn't ask you earlier was, what are you doing any advertising at all? Any digital advertising, print advertising, anything?
I spend zero on advertising. I spent $21 on Facebook in 2018, and I have not spent $1 on advertising at all. I have strictly to now focused on 3 things, which has been this website, the SEO ranking, the ranking, the word of mouth and referrals,
Okay.
and repeats. That has been my core focus, as opposed to, and that's why I think my users are way down to 167, because I'm not focused on getting new people. I'm focused on getting the right people.
Okay. But I'm also going to say that 167 visitors in a month for your business at this age with doing zero advertising is super good. So if everybody was in that space,
there's no benchmark out there to know when you're doing good. To me, that's terrible.
Right. And that's the problem, especially when you are a solopreneur and you're in your space. It's very tough. So, but I'm going to be honest with you. We've been doing these website throwdowns now for quite a few months, and I've heard 14. And that makes sense for some people that are.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah.
So 167 is great, and the 30% bounce rate is great. Now the next thing I asked you was how many leads did you get in January? And what was your number?
My number is 68. And if I may, I consider it a lead when they submit to me their contact information.
I love that rule. That is so they're a marketing qualified lead. They said, hello, I want to hear from you. You can talk to me. Yes. Yep. So good qualification there. So here's a metric. I mean, these are the metrics I would evaluate any website on. So out of 167 new people that have visited your website, no matter how many times they might have come back to your website, new visitors in 1 month, 68 of those became leads, marketing qualified leads, and that's a 41% conversion rate.
That is awesome.
I'm telling you, let's drop mic. I'm dropping my Travel Quest World pen because that is amazing right there. So I asked you that question, and you blew my mind. So you're doing something else right.
Awesome.
And guys, we will be moving around her website, but I think this information is really good stuff because she has her stats down. How many? And when I asked you customers, what are we going to qualify? What are we going to say counts as a customer? How many customers did you get out of those 68 leads that came in?
26.
All right, and how do you qualify? What defines a customer in that number?
A financial transaction. They have
got to make that paper.
They've hired me to consult, they've hired me to plan, they've booked the trip. There's some sort of financial transaction that then converts them from interested to actual.
I think that's a beautiful thing because as we know in travel, I can start the process, I can be last minute or I can start really far out. So if you're saying it's at the point where some money has changed hands, I think that's a great rule. And as you continue to track your progress, I would keep that rule in place. So it's apples to apples when you're looking at your numbers. But that 26 customers out of 68, that's a 38% conversion from marketing qualified lead to customer. That is fantastic.
That's been consistent from day one, no matter if I had 10 leads or what, that 38 to 42 every month from I'd say about 6 months in, that's what it's been.
Okay. Well, this is fantastic. So now we're gonna poke around your website, and I hope
Awesome.
you guys. We got Nancy does have a question. See, I got to make sure I look over to this screen.
Yes.
So Nancy is saying, where are you pulling your stats from?
I use Google Analytics for my website statistics.
Okay.
For my leads and the number of sales and that kind of thing, I track that independently. Travel Joy is what I use, but it has crap reports. So I pull everything in to Excel because I'm kind of an Excel pro. So I can make that work, make pretty pictures and charts and whatever. So that's where I'm getting them.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Nancy, for asking the question. I'm gonna like the fact that she asked that question. All right, so now we're gonna get into your website. So if you've watched the website Throwdown, I've kind of asked this question. So is Mindset Travel Denise, or is this an agency? Where are you trying to take this? What's your future state?
Future state will be agency.
Okay.
As that is not where we are right now. It's synonymous. Denise is Mindset Travel. Mindset Travel is Denise.
Okay. All right. So my first observation is when I look at your top navigation, I've got you're using our services, and then I got meet Denise. Okay. So you're conflicting right there.
Okay.
So I think just changing that to services and then meet Denise says that Mindset Travel is Denise, and you definitely, in fact, by you saying meet Denise, you've made that much more attractive versus an about page, like even about me, but meet Denise, all of a sudden now I'm not thinking Mindset Travel is this agency or a call center or something like that. It's Denise, and I need to meet her because that's what this navigation says, right? So love that. I'm going to just count your menu items here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I'm going to count the telephone number just because visually it looks like navigation. I'd like to see that at 5. And the way I probably would do that is I think you don't need to necessarily have this menu item for home, because we're pretty much trained to know that this is, if I click on the logo, it's going to take me home. So that then gets to services, meet Denise, custom travel plans, more. You've got some drop down here. I probably could take most of this because this is the only one that has a drop down, and put this a little lower down in a lower navigation, and make this more contact. Because even though you have the 800, you got your telephone number there. I mean, really at that point, after I know what you do, I know who you are, you've got this other option of custom travel plans, then the next thing is contact Denise or request a quote or let's meet or whatever fits your style.
Okay.
Okay. I love your moving video here. And this is so tranquil, and the sun coming up. Ooh, I feel it puts me in the mindset for travel. I love this. So you're using a chat tool here. Are you? Or...
I yes and no. There's a reason it's not very great.
Okay. Tell me about it.
So, I can't without giving away anything.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean, and we can discuss it further, but I use it, yes, but what I've found is that a lot of people will start the chat, and I have to be on it so fast before they just go away.
Right.
I'm so fast. I mean, like less than 30 seconds. Yeah. So it exists, but I have to do a better job of setting the expectation that, hey, it might take me a minute, but sit tight. I'm going to be with you just as soon as I can. So, but there's a reason that I can't do that right now. So we'll come back to that.
So I love the fact that you've got it there, though, because at least it's a quick option for me to contact you. I mean, as I scroll down the page, it
adds
right
to the
there.
68 people who are leaving.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
I would love, because again, if I don't know, depending on this plugin or this add-on, I don't know if you can change the language here from contact us to chat with me. Again, I'd like to move away, since right now it is about Denise. I'd rather say chat with Denise, chat with me, something like that. And then seeing that it's offline, not a big deal. I still know that I can send you a message there. And like you said, it's contributing to your conversion. So that's a beautiful thing. So I like that. Okay, here we go. We're gonna scroll on. I get to your message. I'm gonna give you this little tidbit. I love the beauty. This looks very beautiful. I love the picture, but I think this is a wasted opportunity, because I have to scroll to get to this.
And I have to learn how to test that in Wix, because it does above the fold on, before scrolling, or on any other device that I have tried. So I don't know what kind of device other people are using or how to test that.
Okay. And I can't necessarily help you on that either.
It's just something I gotta learn to do.
It depends on the template that you're using, but this right here is a great hero image, and you've got a call to action right in here, get in touch. And you know what, so treat yourself to an experience, luxury travel with a casual appeal. Get in touch is so verbally on style, or in that style. So I think you're doing a really good job there. I just think that it would better serve you, instead of having just a beautiful picture. Let's start to get down to business and have that above the fold if you can. Okay, so obviously the call to actions there. We've got chat. Okay, so these are your options: custom travel plans, group vacations, packages and tours. I noticed these aren't clickable. So are there no pages in your website that attach to them?
This is a one-page website. No.
What? Blowing my mind.
I was trying not to give that away. I was trying to see what you would think as a person who just doesn't know, because we're used to websites being so deep when they're, but lead magnets work really great, So that's sort of what this is. But it's my site.
Okay.
So no, it doesn't click. It just tells you what I do. There are future versions I've outlined in my head.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting to see how this does, so I kind of know where to focus my time and energy, since I do it myself. And
yeah,
I want to mess with it. It's doing okay.
Yeah, no, you're doing
like, I want to know what I need to do to make it better before I start just like screwing things up.
Yeah, you're getting good results, but as a user, I wanted to click those because maybe I don't understand what custom travel plans, what you mean by that, and packages and tours, maybe I don't. So I don't think it will not hurt you to create pages that are not necessarily a part of your navigation anywhere within the site. But if I did click on that and you started to see that, hey, at the time that someone gets to this section of my website, 50% of them go to group vacations. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder why I'm attracting so many group vacations. It also helps you from an optimization standpoint, because you can create live text content and more imagery on pages about these specific things. So I think I think it could only help you. I don't think you should. I mean, if anything, I could say, hey, can you add a little bit of a blurb, one to two sentences under each one of these? That might help me a little bit. But I still think you having a page exclusively for group vacations can help you from a search engine optimization standpoint. So
awesome.
That's it. I'm going to give you kudos for having multiple call to actions with every scroll. I'm seeing that. I might challenge you though, where I said, oh, I love this get in touch. It goes along with the casual appeal. Come up with another way to say get in touch in that casual style, and do that here. So it doesn't become something that I tune out.
Sure.
I am not a very, my reading comprehension just stinks. So I don't hold on to a lot of information, and especially if I start to see things repeat, I block them out and I tune out. So
That
if
makes
you
total
mix it
sense.
up, that could help. So I like that.
Okay.
Why work with this, with Mindset Travel? Love it, love it. Here's the message. Enjoy. Oh, look at this. You're saying, here is why. Personal contact, online service, professional expertise, payment plans. What? You're making this so crazy. How can I do this? Client advocacy. Oh, and I love that picture. You know what? That's interesting. This is the only picture you have on your site so far where I get to see a person looking back at me. I think there's an opportunity to incorporate some of those pictures of people looking at you. There's been studies done, and as human beings, we want people to look back at us. Right now, I'm looking at you while we're talking, and it's giving me life. So just a little note there, when you're looking for your images, see if you can get a couple. Oh, look. Oh my goodness. Comprehensive travel services, and nothing like little baby. What are those? Those are cheetahs, or are they like jaguars? What
Jaguars.
are they? Look at, wow. Oh, I love it.
I think.
That would scare the crap out of me. I really like the fact that at Animal Kingdom, there's like a great ravine between you and the animal. Wow, that is a great picture. Again, get in touch. Let's get some other language in there. Let's make it a little more fun. Also, I think you can play with the color too, because I just saw it in teal. Give it to me in another brand color here.
All right.
Give me something else. What our clients have to say, testimonials. Look, hey, I didn't just start this business yesterday. I've got clients. This is really a fantastic piece. I love this. People need that social proof. And here we go. Meet Denise. Can I just say,
Large on your screen. I'm sorry. It threw me back.
you're like, yeah. On my personal website, I did that to myself too. And I was going to check something. I was like, why did you do that?
There I am.
No one needs that. But I love this. I love this. Contact me. Let's talk. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. You lived in France, travel at length. I mean, this is great. You're not giving me too much of a bio. You're giving me just enough that says, you know what? I can see her. She looks like a happy person. I want to deal with a happy person that loves to travel and has traveled. You're just making me too excited. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna deduct points here.
Oh, because that means nothing to the client?
No, not necessarily. Actually,
Okay.
these affiliations are definitely helpful.
Mhm.
They're weighted very different. Visually, it's all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got a circle in the Asda logo, I want to see the IATAN logo at that same weight and size, as well as bringing this. It's a little bit of a struggle. I think, I'm not sure if it's in Wix. I know in Squarespace, you can add little spacers. Okay, so
right now, and I'll preface this by saying, like, some of these things I'm not surprised by, because Wix, it's just a template. I haven't gone in to do my editing with my anal stuff like that, like making sure it's all visually, aesthetically pleasing, just because it's just the template. I haven't messed with it. That's why there's no more pages. That's why there's the contact us isn't, you can't customize it. It's as is until you get into, so I'm just, and none of this surprises me on those things that you're saying to customize like that. Awesome.
okay.
Yeah. That drives me crazy too.
Okay. Yeah.
Coming to it, I'm like, that suddenly came up to be a very important thing to do this weekend.
Yeah. So, while I'm gonna stop there. Nancy has come back, and she was interested in that statement that you have about payment plans. So she's saying, how does she offer payment plans? Is that through suppliers? So when you talk about payment plans, what are you talking about?
Exactly that, through suppliers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there are some services now, and I haven't done a lot of research, but there are some services now that will help a client finance, kind of like a bill me later situation. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about those types of services. But right now, you're just identifying something that is already there. It's a part of the process. It's just a lot of travelers, especially those who have never used a travel agent, don't even know they exist. So that's pretty cool. Just so you know, when you come back to the Facebook group, Rebecca's saying if you need a graphic designer to help you resize those logos, just let her know. She can help you make them look consistent. So you got some help
Thank you. I know just who you are. Hi, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Really appreciate that.
I'm making a note. Message Rebecca.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, and now we get down towards the bottom of the site. Here
Contact us.
We've got our form, so it's going to say contact me, right? We would like to travel. I would get rid of your email address. I don't know if you've heard me mention this before, but
Doesn't ring a bell.
When you have your email address as live text on a website, it invites all of these ugly spiders to come and crawl your site and scrape it, and it will increase your spam. So get anything
as spam or receiving spam.
It's going to start to, you're going to get on more lists and receive more spam.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So you don't need that. You've got the telephone number and you've got a form right there. As human beings, we know that this is an email that's going to go through to you. So, that's great. One thing I'd like to ask you about the contact us, is there a reason why you're making them put their address?
Because it's the form I can't customize until I get to the customizable thing. Yep.
Okay. So that would be the only so I like having that information. In fact, on my own personal website, I ask for that information because I like to send out postcard mailings or handwritten notes or things like that, and then it kind of captures it. It's great, but it is a little time consuming, and if I'm on my phone and I'm trying to get information to you fast, it does cause a little bit of a hiccup. But I love that. I love this. Submit. And here you can subscribe to receive emails from you, right?
I'll get there.
You'll get there.
Right now, I'm just collecting. I am not doing a great job of connecting.
Do you know what? I feel you, sister.
But I gotta collect, so at least I'm doing that.
You are doing that. I would love for you to tell me what I'm subscribing to here. So if that's live text that you can edit to just say, sign up to get emails from Denise or from me or whatever, that subscribe form sounds like that was just like the default, here.
It is. It is exactly that. And there's no difference between that and the contact us form.
Okay.
So I don't know which one people are using.
Yeah. So so if you could, that would be great. Mailing address. Do you find this is something important to have on your website?
People always want to know where I am, but because I'm home based, I don't. And then I put mailing specifically because I have had people call me before I put that on there, call me going, where are you? I'm here, but this isn't your office. So I've specifically listed, I am local in Greenville, but this is my mailing address. That it prevents some of those hiccups from in person. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good point to differentiate between those two things. I don't know how much your users need to see your mailing address either. So I think I would just make a bigger deal about, you could even do like a little line here saying, I live in Greenville, South Carolina, something to still convey that I am in Greenville. That'll also help you in optimization. But it seems like an unnecessary piece of a very clean website that, that I'm experiencing. So I don't know, again, you're kind of inviting kind of like your email address, you're inviting getting on all the different, like, let me sell you SEO services, and let me,
Oh
let
yeah,
me
I get
help you
lots of
get
that.
leads. Yeah. So I think you can, if you can kill that all together, leave your telephone number to there. That's great. I would love to see if you, and I don't know that I see it here. I'd love to see maybe even under here. And I am in Greenville, South Carolina, which Greenville, by the way, is a very, very beautiful city. So I will put my stamp of approval on choices of places to live, because I'm sure that's what you needed to do. So I get so I get your drop down now. That's helping me move through the parallax site. That's what this type of site is, the one-page site where it's moving like this. If you could just get it down to contact and still keep all your sections, it just depends on the template. That's the only place where there's a drop down. I'd really rather just see services, meet Denise, custom travel plans, contact, just to make it really easy to see what's going on in the website. I think you've done a beautiful job of executing this. So do you mind sharing with everybody? You said that you use the Wix platform. What template are you using? Do you know the name of that?
Nope.
Well,
I just went through until I liked one that and I didn't use travel specific. I can tell you that, because to me that didn't make sense. I'm not, the reason I didn't go for travel agency is because I don't want to sell a lot of packages. Like, I don't want to have to update my website with current sales and deals, and that's not the kind of client that I want to attract. That's not how I want to reach people. So I don't put a lot of that on there for that reason. So that's why I didn't go that route. As an agent, I remember there was still a lot of like deals, and there's some, SEO opportunities like Destination Spotlight and things like that were great, but it was too much. And I was taking the fact that I'm a travel agency out of it. And I started from scratch with, what's my goal? What are the few things I needed to accomplish? What do they care? What do they need to know? And then I found a site that just a template that very simply had those options available.
I'm crying right now. Squish, squish.
Oh,
like, squish,
did
squish.
You know I did this in a past life? I worked as the product manager for an internal CRM development system, or a development team. So we had to learn, and I had to learn how this works on a bigger scale, but still a startup environment. So I love that. I thought it was so much fun. I loved that job. So that's why I do it myself.
Yeah.
I can use those skills and kind of keep them top of mind and do
Well, I love that that's how you evaluated the template. And if you feel like it, jump back in the comments after this and just share the template, because I think it's a great, really what you did is you took a very personal brand approach to this. Even though you're called Mindset Travel, you have said right now it is Denise. So this website helps, this speaks to that. Whereas when you become an agency, then Denise becomes the founder, right? So she has to step to the back a little bit and then let her other team members have a little more of the limelight, right? And spread it around. So your website will evolve, but right now this serves that personal brand purpose. And it's kudos all the way around.
Awesome. Thank you.
I am really impressed. I'm impressed with the way you evaluated, going from the other website that was very big and complicated.
So complex. I think I had like 20 pages.
Yeah.
It was way more than, I didn't want to manage that much as one person. And so I decided not to.
No, I think that's great. And I just feel like even from your copy, you made your copy very succinct. that I get it. It doesn't take me too long to digest. You've just done a lot of things that are great. And I hope some of those notes that I gave you
Oh, totally.
help.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got a little bit longer on the website Throwdown. What kind of question, do you have any questions for me? Anything that you want to, anything, it doesn't have to be about your website. It could be digital marketing, because that's what I do for a living.
I was so very curious about benchmarks because, like I said, I thought that my numbers, some numbers are great, my conversion is great, but some numbers are not, or I didn't think so. So that was a huge thing for me, is just, what do you see in benchmarks? And then being able to, I don't know, the little things, like now that I have some notes, I'll be changing like one little thing at a time.
Okay.
And see how it does. And then that works great. If not, I didn't screw it up totally. And then, but those are really, that was the big one, is the benchmarks. Like I said, bounce rate. I'm like thinking it needs to be down to like 10%.
Yeah.
I get a third of the people who leave? What? And maybe because they see the screen like yours where it doesn't have above the fold and they're like, where am I?
Yeah. And you've been doing this, at least your domain has been around for 3 years. You've got a new website. Oh, it hasn't?
No.
Okay.
So it was just mindsettravel.com.
Okay.
I launched mindsettravelagency.com with this one page at the same time so that I could, I like the SEO because the words that people are searching for, travel agency. And having that in my domain made such an impact. It went from just Mindset Travel, what are you? Mindset Travel Agency, oh, you sell travel. In the search results, it was like, you say it takes 6 months. It did not. It did not take 6 months. And because it's one page, it really didn't take 6 months. They only had to crawl one page. The only downside that I have seen from going from big page to little page is that in the search results, I no longer take up more space with the submenus. That is the only downside. But, choose your battles.
Choose your battles. I mean, I think you've already proven that your site is working and it is really working. So that is good to know. Again, on the 30%, that even makes more sense to me now, because if your domain had been around for the full year, for the full 3 years, I would expect that to be higher. I would say I have seen most websites, mature websites, at around 60 to 70% in their bounce rate, because over time, there's all these different weird websites that start pointing to you, and then there's the post that you put on Facebook that comes up 3 years later. That then, you know what I mean? So there's different things that kind of contribute to that. So right now, this is your benchmark, and you might see it go up over time. But just being in control of your numbers, you can start to hypothesize why it's going this way or that way. Awesome. A big contributing factor to this is that you're not advertising. So anybody that's listening that is doing digital advertising, I'm sorry, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but that bounce rate is going to get up to 80 and 90%. That is the nature of a lot of digital advertising. So what you're doing is you're looking at that bounce rate and what kind of campaigns you're running, and just trying to make sure that what the message you're bringing people into your site on matches up with where you're dropping them off. So you're not misleading them, or they have to hunt for what they're looking for. So anyway, so benchmarks on bounce rates, that's where I would say, like, I have seen 89% bounce rate when doing maybe $1,000 in digital ads in a month on a site. So
because you're getting in front of people who may not necessarily be your customer. They're just people, because it's advertising. We try to target. Is that what you're? Okay.
Yeah, and it's tough. I have sales team, because all of our sales teams report into me, and some of them have been doing it outside of the digital world for so long that all of a sudden they start getting these web leads and they're like, this is junk. This is Tina Turner. That's not somebody. That Mickey Mouse, that's not somebody. And for me,
I
I'm
got
like,
a Ralph Macchio once.
yeah, there you go. But the thing is you get used to there being a lot of this is going to be noise, and then I have to immediately kind of sift. So you're not having to worry about that right now. I want to address the fact that you did notice that change in your traffic by adding the agency part, because
That was a very long debate I had. I got
I bet it was.
mother about it. Yeah.
I think I would be consulting my board of directors, which is like Oprah, Michelle. I mean, it would be everybody, because I like Brene Brown. I have on my wall 5 boards of directors, and they're like,
right.
It's
What
pretty,
makes it longer? You don't want longer.
You don't want longer. But you were right. From an SEO standpoint, if I was searching, I would search for a travel agent or a travel agency. And now that I see it in your URL, it even validates that is the right place for me to go. It's not something else. And you made me think of something that I wanted to share with everybody. You know, Asta really came out and said, we are now advisors. We are not agents. Agents is such an old clunky word, right? And it has negative connotations for other reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? It's going to take a long time for everyone to separate travel agent and travel advisor. So what I have found through my own audits and kind of monitoring how people are searching for travel agents, they're using the word travel agent. So I definitely recommend calling yourself a vacation travel advisor. You know, there's all these different great names, but making sure from an SEO standpoint, you've got travel agency or travel agent somewhere worked into your content to make sure that you're getting the benefit of that optimization through searches, because people are still searching for travel agents. So, that's an interesting test that you ran, and I am so glad it went. May the odds forever be in your favor.
I know. And it'll forever have to forward, but that's okay. I can own both.
Yeah. And you know what? It's over time. I mean, forwarding is such an easy thing to set up and kind of forget about. And over time, you know, you could drop that, and you probably wouldn't even see a reduction in your traffic, because right now you're owning this space, and that's what I love about what you've done with your site. So, I think we've talked about just about everything.
Yay.
Yay.
A lot of tips. I really appreciate this. Yes.
I appreciate you. I mean, if don't even go look at my website, because I'd be like, oh, I'm embarrassed, because I don't practice sometimes what I preach on my personal brand. And everything that I get paid to take care of, I make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's. But it is hard. I have mad respect for entrepreneurs, especially solopreneurs, because it is so much work. And you were just telling me before we came on that you are not working on the weekends. You're trying to be disciplined, and it's tough. It's really, really tough. So kudos to you for that. Kudos to you for the website. Thank you for being so vulnerable and signing up to do this, Denise. I have had a wonderful, wonderful time.
Me too. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And hit up Rebecca. She's
yes.
Yeah.
I got a note for you, girly.
Yeah. So, all right. So guys, we're going to wrap it up. And everybody go visit mindsettravelagency.com. Make sure you check out Denise's website, connect with her, and just, give her, I'm sure she's open to feedback, but let's just
totally
give her a big round of applause for coming up and doing this website Throwdown with me. So thank you very much, Denise. And guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the best part of my month. I get to do this twice a month, these website Throwdowns, and I love them. And I love what you guys bring every single time, and that vulnerability, and just, I love working with you. So please, like I said, hit me up on social media at Joshua Harrell. I'd love to connect with you there. And if you want to do a website Throwdown, go to Agent Portal, search website Throwdown, and you will find a page to sign up. There is a little bit of a queue. We've got a few people because I do some other things around here too. So,
just one or two.
Juggle it all, just one or two things. But I'd love to see you here. And again, kudos, Denise.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend, or whenever you're watching this, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you real soon. Bye.